5:17, and this morning the FBI is attempting to schedule interviews with 6 Democratic lawmakers who made a video saying troops should not obey illegal orders.
ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has more.
This morning, the FBI requesting interviews with these 6 Democratic lawmakers. Multiple sources familiar with the situation tell ABC News.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
President Trump initially accused these 6 lawmakers of seditious behavior punishable by death after they recorded a message telling service members they should not follow illegal orders.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
Lawmakers said Tuesday they were contacted by the FBI to begin scheduling interviews, signaling a possible inquiry into the matter.
The president's reaction and the use of the FBI against us is exactly why we made the video. He believes in using the federal government against his perceived adversaries.
The same week, the Pentagon announced it would launch a review into veteran and Senator Mark Kelly, one of the Democratic members of Congress in the video. The retired Navy captain flew 39 combat missions in Iraq before going on to become an astronaut.
Every one of us has First Amendment speech rights, and I think the president is infringing on those. And he is sending a pretty strong message. You do not want to cross him, and your loyalty should be to him. It should not. It should always be to the Constitution.
ABC spoke to retired 4-star General Wesley Clark about the investigations.
There's a lot of heat in Congress right now. There's a lot of unhappiness in this country. President Trump's approval ratings are down. But I think, the uniform military doesn't want to be part of that, shouldn't be part of that.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is now ordering the Navy to review Senator Kelly for potential unlawful conduct and to have it completed by December 10th. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Injured in the line of duty. And first of all, I want everybody who's a person of faith to say a prayer for those 2 National Guardsmen that they're able to spend Thanksgiving with their families instead of losing their lives, because I understand they're still in pretty tough condition. But I think it's a somber reminder that soldiers, whether they're active duty, reserve, or National Guard, our soldiers are the sword and the shield of the United States of America. And as a person who goes into work every single day in that building and knows that there are a lot of people who wear the uniform of the United States Army, let me just say very personally, thank them for what they're doing. We're grateful to them, and we're praying that they're going to be safe and they're going to spend Thanksgiving with their families. God bless them.
question for you is, what does getting to the finish line consist of specifically? You know, what is your strategy in the final year of your mayoralty as far as getting us to the finish line, if you wouldn't mind just specifying?
Well, I'm sure I'll have more to say. I don't think I have a comprehensive presentation for you, but obviously I had the opportunity to talk to many of my teams yesterday and let them know that our expectation is that we will finish strong. We will continue to think big. We will continue to tackle the tough challenges of the district. We will look at our own agenda, the things that I have promised. I will assess where we are with those, and I will take them as far as I can. And I think I'll be able to finish most of them. Okay.
Of course, in your letter, you outlined numerous accomplishments, but there are still sentiments among.
In Moscow. Next week in Moscow? I think so.
What kinds of concessions are the Russians going to have to make?
Well, they're making concessions. Their big concession is they stop fighting and they don't take any more land. Again, it's a war that would have never happened if I was president. This was not anything that was going to happen. This happened because of stupidity. It's too bad.
Mr. President. Wickoff is going to Russia next week. Does that mean that Thanksgiving deadline doesn't stand anymore for Ukraine?
We're going to see what happens. They set up a date, and the date is going to be sometime in the very near future.
Do you have a new deadline?
No, I don't have a deadline. I just, you know what the deadline for me is? When it's over. And I think everybody's tired of fighting at this moment. They're losing too. Well, that was an original proposal, and then from there we went back and forth. They're talking about going land both ways and trying to clean up the border. You can't go through the middle of the house, you can't go through the middle of a highway. So they're trying to work something. It's a complicated process. It doesn't go that quickly.
U.S. security here.
So we're working that out with Europe. Europe will be largely involved in that. We're working that out with Europe. Europe really wants to see it end if possible. Well, that was just a map. All that was is a map. That was not a plan. It was a concept. And from there, they've taken each one of the 28 points, and then you got down to 22 points. A lot of them were solved, and actually very favorably solved. So we'll see what happens. Incompetent.
How was your call with the Japanese Prime Minister?
Great, it was great. I had a great talk. I have a very good relationship with her. I also had a very good talk with President Xi of China, and I think that part of the world is doing fine.
Can you tell us about the content of your talk?
Mostly trade. I spoke to President Xi about a lot of things, but trade and buying our farm products, and he said he agreed with me. I think he's going to very much surprise you on the upside. I think he's going to. I asked him, I'd like you to buy it a little faster. I'd like you to buy more, and he's more or less agreed to do that. I think we will be pleasantly surprised by the actions of President Xi. I have a good relationship, great relationship with him. I like him, he likes me. I'm going to be going there in April. I guess you'll all be going with me, but I'm going to be going to China in April. With Japan, likewise, I just came back from Japan, and we have a great relationship. The new Prime Minister and myself, she's very smart, she's very strong, and she's going to be a great leader. Thank you very much, everybody.
Mr. President, what are you most thankful for?
You're not happy about it.
Do you have any reaction to Mayor Bowser announcing she's not running for re-election in D.C.?
Well, I got along with her very well. I liked her. We worked together. D.C. is now a safe community. It's a great community. You people know it better than I do because you live there. But D.C. is now safe. The restaurants are booming. The place is booming. We have no crime. And we did that all in a period of 3 or 4 weeks and then made it better and better and better. And now we're setting new records. I mean, literally, it's as safe as there is anywhere in the country now. And if you go back a year, it was a very unsafe place. Before I got here, D.C. was a very unsafe, and it's our capital. We have to make it safe. We're doing really well in Memphis, Tennessee, and we're doing well in other places. The one that is really trouble is what's happening in Chicago. The crime, it's a potentially great city again, but the governor has totally lost control. That's where you had the young lady burned. That's where you had a lot of killings over the last very short period of time. Killings. The governor has totally lost control of the state, and the mayor is grossly incompetent. He's a very talented lawyer, actually. I might talk to him. We'll see. But we're discussing that with the different staffs. We might talk about Venezuela.
Why do you want to talk to him?
Say it again.
Maduro, the U.S.
Yeah, right.
designated him the leader of this foreign terrorist organization. Why do you want to talk to him?
Well, we can save lives. If we can do things the easy way, that's fine. And if we have to do it the hard way, that's fine too. Well, I'm not going to tell you what the goal is. You should probably know what the goal is, but they've caused a lot of problems. And they've sent millions of people into our country. They were probably the biggest abuser with Tren de Aragua and all the others that they sent in, the drug dealers and drug lords, the people that they sent in, the jailbirds. They opened their jails and prisons and dumped them into the United States. And we're not happy about it.
Do you have any reaction?
Porque no entienda, cuento una leyenda, de una mexicana, juro a la luna hasta el amanecer. Luna quiere ser madre y no encuentras querer que te haga mujer. Dime luna de plata, ¿qué pretendes hacer con un niño de piel? Hijo de la luna. Porque no entienda, cuento una leyenda de una mexicana, juro a la luna hasta el amanecer. Llorando de día, al llegar el día de destrozar un ballet. Luna quiere ser madre y no encuentras querer que te haga mujer.
That people
have almost this PTSD when it comes to bubble because we've lived through the dot-com bubble bursting in 2000, the housing bubble of 2007, 2008. Do you think that when people, that these concerns are perhaps overblown because when they hear that, they remember those, pretty dark times?
Yes, I think that it is somewhat overblown. I think the problem is that people are feeling the emotions, but they're not looking at the numbers. And the numbers that they need to look at
that's taken place in Chicago in the last 2 weeks. Just take a look. It's on the front page of every newspaper. It's out of control.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson acknowledged the city's shortfalls following a separate fatal shooting incident on Friday after the city's Christmas tree lighting.
What we put in place did not do enough to prevent what we were concerned about from actually manifesting.
Let's bring in Chicago Alderman Raymond Lopez. Raymond, that acknowledgement by Mayor Johnson is a different sort of tag. We haven't heard that from him before, but why is he doing that? What's your reaction?
Well, good morning. I think that the reason that the mayor is pivoting now is that he understands that Chicago is we know that election day is less than 8 months from today. He can say and try to pivot all he wants, but all of these failures come right back to his doorstep. The blood is on his hands for what we've seen happen this weekend, because when it came to the team takeover and the 300 individuals that descended on downtown, he had the opportunity to institute a snap curfew that would have allowed the police to better manage that. He vetoed that ordinance because he didn't want to profile black children. When it comes to the CTA and the burning of that poor woman, he has handcuffed not only our Chicago police, but transit police as well, not allowing them to use all all of the tools as well as follow these individuals when they are on the train causing chaos. This falls at his feet squarely, and he knows that Chicagoans have had enough.
And you know, Raymond, just to remind our viewers, this individual you're talking about, Lawrence Reed, has such a criminal history going back to 1993, 72 arrests, 8 of them felony convictions, 7 misdemeanor convictions. You just wonder, what in the world is that individual doing out?
You will not be able to log in, click on, and scroll out. You will not be able to lose yourself on TikTok and catch highlights from the war on your feed, because the revolution will not be on social media. The revolution will not be on social, 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 not be on social.
And those of the allies of the governor, J.B. Pritzker, created the Safety Act, which is a misnomer. We have to do better, and I think what we've seen is more compassion and empathy from Donald Trump wanting to correct this than we've gotten from our own mayor or our own other elected officials here who want to pretend this is a manufactured crisis. It is a
So recently you must have heard about the Rafale deal between France and Ukraine. It is not just a defense deal, but a journey that shows how Europe, Ukraine and even India's own Rafale story are now linked in surprising ways.
The revolution will not be reposted. It will not be liked, shared, or commented on. It will not come with filters to make it more appealing, or be sponsored by energy drinks. The revolution will not be on social media. The revolution will not be on social media. There will be no Instagram
stay strong. In your shallows, I could drown. All it takes is a hello. I feel mad, I need to know.
Up to 4 monthly deliveries to meet this rising demand. And even that won't be enough. That's why France actually wants another production line outside France. Guess where? India. India already flies 36 Rafales. Navy ordered 26. The Indian Air Force wants 114 made in India Rafales. It is already collaborating with Tata to build Rafale fuselages in Hyderabad. India is even working with Safran to build its first indigenous jet engine with full technology transfer. Basically, as the world buys more Rafales, India becomes a major manufacturer. Stay strong. In your shallows, I could drown. All it takes is a hello. I feel mad, I need to know. Put your love on me. Please, please, please. Put your love on me. Please, baby, won't you tell me if you can? Tell me if you can. Put your love on me. Put your love on me.
stiffen our resolve to ensure that we make Washington, D.C. safe and beautiful. The drop in crime has been historic. The increase in safety and security has been historic. Criminals want to conduct things like this, violence against America's best. We will never back down. President Trump will never back down. That's why the American people elected him. America and our warriors, our National Guardsmen, are strong.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kash Patel, FBI Director. We're here to brief you on the tragic events that happened today at approximately 2:15 local time in Washington, D.C., where two of our brave members of the National Guard and the Department of War were brazenly attacked in a horrendous act of violence. They were shot. They're in critical condition. As you can see behind me, we have assembled the full force of both the federal and state and local law enforcement agencies to bring bear all of our resources to make sure we find the perpetrators responsible for this heinous act. And make no mistake, they will be brought to justice. Since this is an assault on a federal law enforcement officer, this will be treated at the federal level as an assault on a federal law enforcement officer. The FBI will lead out on that mission with our interagency partners, to include the Department of Homeland Security, Secret Service, ATF, DEA, and we're thankful for the mayor's assistance in this matter, the Metropolitan Police Department and their skills in investigating homicides and gun shootings in this city is exceptional. We will work together collaboratively because this is a matter of national security, because this is a matter of pride. President Trump has been informed. We've been in contact with the White House. We will shortchange the American public with no resources to make sure we find and safeguard our nation's capital right here in Washington, D.C., and bring anyone responsible for this heinous act of violence to justice. I would lastly like to add to the American public and the world, please send your prayers to those brave warriors who are in critical condition and their families. They are here serving our country. They are here protecting everyday Americans and citizens around the world in our nation's capital. They are the heroes of this day, and we must remember them on this day and every day, and their families and the sacrifice they have made. I will now turn it over to Chief Carroll of the Metropolitan Police Department. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeff Carroll. I'm the Executive Assistant Chief here at the Metropolitan Police Department. At approximately 2:15 this afternoon, members of the D.C. National Guard were on high visibility patrols in the area of 17th and I Street Northwest, when a suspect came around the corner, raised his arm with a firearm, and discharged it at the National Guard members. The National Guard members, there were other members that were in the area. They were able to, after some back and forth, able to subdue the individual and bring him into custody. Within moments, members of law enforcement in the area were also able to assist and bring that individual into custody. At this time, as the director mentioned, the National Guard members are being treated at a local hospital. DC Fire and EMS responded to the scene to provide first aid for those individuals and transport them to a local hospital. The suspect in this case was also transported for treatment at a local hospital. Mayor?
I'm Muriel Bowser. I'm the mayor of Washington, D.C., and I, too, want to send my thoughts and prayers to the families of the Guardsmen and to the Guardsmen who are in critical condition in a local hospital. I am joined by members and leadership from the D.C. National Guard, from the West Virginia National Guard, United States Secret Service, Deputy Mayor Pia, Fire Chief Donnelly, and Metro's General Manager Randy Clark. And we join with the FBI Director in ensuring that MPD investigates, the U.S. Attorney prosecutes this case to the fullest extent of the law. I've had the opportunity to brief U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi, who was speaking to the president when I called, as well as the United States Attorney Pirro, who assured me that this case will have her office's complete attention.
Mayor, is there any other suspect?
Chief.
So no, at this time there was no indication that there was any other suspect. The one suspect that was involved in this incident, they were shot during the interaction and they were transported to the hospital for treatment.
What we know, Andrea, is that this is a targeted shooting. One individual who appeared to target these guardsmen, that individual has been taken into custody.
Now, can you tell us any more details on the condition of the two National Guardsmen and whether or not anyone else was injured? And a quick question follow-up for the FBI director. You said that we'll make sure we find the perpetrators for this act. So just to clarify, the person believed to be responsible is in custody and there are no other suspects.
Sure, so I can start out. Again, Chief Carroll from MPD. So both the individuals, the guard members, they are in critical condition in a local hospital at this time being treated. At this point, we have no other suspects. We have reviewed video from the area. It appears, like I said, to be a lone gunman that raised a firearm and ambushed these members of the National Guard, and he was quickly taken into custody by other National Guard members and law enforcement members.
Any sense of motive?
No, at this time, obviously, we're very in the preliminary stages of investigation. There's a lot of things, a lot of agents that are here from various federal agencies, law enforcement agencies. We have the full power of the FBI and our federal partners here in the task force. So we're looking at all those different aspects, but we don't have any motive. The National Guardsmen that were shot, I'm told they were armed.
Did they get off track?
At this time, that's part of the preliminary investigation.
Do we know how the suspect was apprehended?
Sure. So how the suspect was apprehended, as I said, the individual, the suspect came around the corner, he immediately started firing a firearm at the two National Guard members. So at that time, there were other National Guard members that were in the area. They heard the gunfire. They actually were able to intervene and to kind of hold down the suspect after he had been shot on the ground until law enforcement got there within moments.
He was shot by a National Guardsman.
At this point, we're still investigating exactly who shot the individual. It's not clear at this time.
Were there DC policemen in the area?
We don't know what kind of weapon. There was DC police. It happened right in front of the Metro, although there is no indication that the perpetrator was on the Metro. So there's Metro Transit Police in the area, and obviously being on 17th Street by the White House, Uniform Division of Secret Service were in the immediate area as well.
What kind of weapon the alleged perpetrator used?
We do not know at this time. Still under investigation.
We're going to be able to take a couple more.
Sure. Again, so as I said, we're very preliminary in the investigation, so we're looking into all aspects of who the individual is, his connections. At this time, he's still in the hospital receiving treatment.
And I would just like to add, the reason that this suspect is in custody is because of the bravery of the men and women of the National Guard who responded due to their extensive training to secure American lives today. There was not any further injury and any further shooting. We should highlight the fact that the men and women of law enforcement, the interagency, the Department of War, and the National Guard executed their training with great precision today and prevented an even greater tragedy from befalling us. These National Guardsmen are heroes, and we must pray for their safety and their speedy recovery. And as the Chief said, we are in the preliminary stages of this investigation. We will run down every single lead, every piece of evidence. This is the power of the U.S. government at its best at the state, local, and federal level. That is why this interagency group is standing behind us to assure America and the world that we will continue to keep D.C. safe. And thankfully, we have Metropolitan Police Department, the National Guardsmen, and federal agents in the Department of Justice and Attorney General willing to prosecute the mission to keep Americans safe. And President Trump has rightly stated that this heinous act will be investigated, and he has thanked the National Guardsmen and women and the men and women of law enforcement.
Thank you. Did the suspect say anything at the time? Why did the West Virginia governor say that they didn't? Was anyone else shot prior to the shooting?